Thank you. My name is Jim Haber, and I'm the coordinator of Nevada Desert Experience, and we organize interfaith resistance to nuclear weapons and war. Louis Vitale is a founder of our organization, a member of our board, and our history includes helping lead to the stopping of full-scale nuclear tests at the Nevada test site. But we can't only be concerned about one facility if we're concerned about nuclear war making in the whole world. My history also includes being a student at UC Santa Barbara in the early 80s, being arrested with Dan Ellsberg at UCSB, demonstrating against the continued management of the UC of the National Weapons Labs by the University of California. And also, I was backcountry also, but not in your group in June of 1983 when we saw, sadly, that test go up. So I've been here, and I'm also continuing to be active. And I want to say that I came here in part because of my history and also because of what's going on in Nevada and other nuclear weapons facilities is connected to what's happening here maybe tonight and in general. Testing warhead, bomb, and delivery system innovations all violate the spirit of working towards nuclear disarmament. Protesting at 5 minutes to midnight, as we are going to tonight, it's to bring forth the image of the doomsday clock of the Union of Concerned Scientists, and the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, in the hope that public pressure can force President Obama to turn away from his pro-nuclear budget and tonight's test. And when I say pro-nuclear budget, I mean regarding both nuclear weapons and nuclear power, despite the horrific tragedy of almost a year ago at Fukushima and the ongoing problems of nuclear contamination even from Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island. Tonight's scheduled test launch makes hypocrites of our foreign policy planners who demand a stand down of nuclear ambitions from countries we're hostile with, while furthering the upgrade of our own weapons of mass destruction. The quantity and quality of our nuclear weapons dwarf all others. And Daniel Ellsberg in his comments has pointed to that historically and the current truth of it. We must not wait for others to pull back. Current war plans continue to be based on misrepresentations, including those regarding Iraq, Iran, Korea, and the ongoing nuclear programs of allies like Israel, Pakistan, and India. Furthermore, the move to make ICBMs dual use, meaning that they could be used for nuclear payloads or non-nuclear payloads, increases the nuclear danger by potentially confusing adversaries into thinking that they're under nuclear attack when maybe they're not. And if they have nuclear weapons themselves, God help us all, if they guess incorrectly. Our peace actions and civil resistance tonight and at the Nevada National Security Site, at the Y-12 plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Kansas City, where they're wanting to quadruple the production of non-nuclear components, and at Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, all of these, and elsewhere, all of these are part of an international effort to wake up the public and our leaders to the immorality, the illegality, and the stupidity of maintaining nuclear capabilities. All nuclear weapons must be eliminated. Theirs are bad. Ours are at least as horrific. Many Martin Luther King quotes remain sadly and prophetically true and relevant today. For this moment, I just want to highlight two. The choice is between nonviolence and non-existence. And when he said, I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without first having spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today, my own government. David Krieger spoke about the environmental impact statement process, and we just went through or are undergoing one at the Nevada test site. And when we comment as an organization, Nevada Desert Experience, we always make the point in our comments to call for the inclusion of analysis as an environmental impact statement of what would happen if these weapons are used, not just limiting the comments to the local profile and local issues. And I appreciate that you mentioned that. I want to conclude by noting that we are approaching the anniversary of Fukushima, and also March 1st is the anniversary of the Bravo test, for which the bikini is named because of the brightness of that explosion, and that it led to the continued contamination of the island of Rongelap, the continued suffering of the people there, and that ball of fire actually ignited the anti-nuclear movement in Japan, which had been shut down by the U.S. occupation forces up until shortly before that because of the fishing boat, the Lucky Dragon, which also was caught in the fallout from that hydrogen bomb test that we conducted in 1954. So that anniversary looms large, and so I wanted to bring that forth here. And lastly, as an interfaith organization, I want to just offer prayers for the people, the Chumash, the native people of Vandenberg, for the Western Shoshone, whose land our focus is at the Nevada test site. The people of Marshall Islands suffer on Ebi Island, and the people of Rongelap, the people of Kazakhstan, and other places of historic nuclear weapons testing who continue to suffer from the fallout of those tests. The Navajo and other people impacted by nuclear mining, and other downwinders from nuclear fallout from tests, including near Hanford, the Nevada test site, Morocco, Tahiti, and everywhere else. I just want to offer a prayer for peace for the whole world and for these impacted people.
Thank you very much, Jim. General Butler's been mentioned a couple of times